Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Rick Dexter and I teach biology at the Osceola campus of Valencia College. I wanted to take a couple of seconds to talk a little bit about virtual labs. I know some of you might be taking a science course soon and it seems a little weird. How do we do a lab on a computer? Now it's true, there's not going to be any substitute for a face-to-face lab, but instead we try to take some of the learning objectives and activities that you would get in the lab and convert it over to a virtual space. One way we could do that is maybe like this. But if that doesn't work, well, I'll tell you what, let me show you an example. This class focuses a lot on organism identification and taxonomy. So for us, we usually spend a lot of time on microscopes and we spend a lot of time on dissection. Now, what I'm going to show you here is an example that comes from the plant section of our course. Now, as we pull up the week's work, you can see some of the information that you're going to be going through. As you look at your to-do list, there are videos to watch and assignments to work through, and this gives us as professors the opportunity to see your work and to get some feedback in terms of how your understanding is going. Now, the virtual lab goes along with a lab book, and you can see the pages to the lab that are here. I've recorded videos that step us through the observations that the student would make in the course. But my goal would be to try to get you engaged in the course once you've learned a little bit about the organisms for the day. I have my students then complete an online activity that allows them to use what it is they learned in the lab. Here we're going to be studying the 4 different major groups of plants. So students will go and find their favorite plants, and as you look here, they'll go down and they'll share it in this Padlet group. At the end of the day, you get to see other students' information and learn a little bit about a whole bunch of different plants. Again, this is just one example of an online activity or an online lab. And depending on the class that you're taking, the experience could be very different. But we wanted to give you at least one example of what an online activity might look like in order for you to complete a lab.